Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and here it is. It's the other big one. Set number 71722, Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon from the summer 2020 wave of Ninjago. This set contains 1,171 pieces and retails for $99.99 in the US. Please excuse the piece of tape you see up there on the corner. You may have heard in my other videos I talked about how I needed to get a bigger photo background for these, so I went and I bought this massive paper, had it shipped to me, and turns out this set's so big it didn't even fit on that, so I had to tape two together. So that's what that piece of tape is. I'm sorry, it has to be there. I hope one piece of tape doesn't ruin your enjoyment of the video. And as always, before I get started, if you're enjoying these reviews, please subscribe, please press like, and please leave a comment and let me know what you think, because that really helps me out, and I hope you guys are all enjoy. Now let's get on to the review. So as I mentioned, this set is massive, and I'm sure you guys can all see that, but pictures don't really represent how big this set actually is. Like, I am shocked this is $100, because I guess it's because there's so much openness here and around here because of the whole board game tile thing, but this feels so complete and I absolutely adore it for that. If you compare this to the $100 set of last year, the Ice Temple, I believe it's called, the Zane's Ice Temple, whatever its proper name is, that set definitely felt scaled down, right? It was an ice temple, but it was a much smaller version because obviously they can't put a full-sized ice temple in a set. But this, I mean, I haven't seen the show yet, but this doesn't feel scaled down at all. This feels like a giant dungeon, and I love how it looks. As with the bounty, this is a big one, so I am going to pick the camera up and move it close so you guys can see individual details, but I just want you to take in everything as a whole. This is definitely the biggest part of the board game, which I still don't know how to play, and I'll make a video trying to figure that out. Maybe I'll do a live stream. That could be fun. But there's so many tiles. There's 3 different places to start here. I don't know if that's for 3 different players or if it's for like 3 parts of the other sets to connect there. But they all converge here and then split back off again. You can go here, you can go here, and you can go here. We've got this cage hanging over here. You can climb up here. There's a giant skull face in the middle, which I think looks incredible. I love the design of this. It does move, which I know it's not supposed to, but I love how that looks. And then there's this area up here, which if you pull down this lever, it closes up, and then you can have it open back up. I don't know which is the original and which is like the transformed version, but that's a cool feature because it works really well and it's really easy to do. Moving over here, we have this piece, which pretty much controls all the functionality in the set. Pretty much anything that moves, aside from this bit up here, is controlled by this one lever. It controls the cage moving, it controls these steps right here moving up and down, and it controls these blades right here spinning. And plus maybe something else that I might notice later on, so I will let you know. But if I just turn this, you can see those blades spin, these steps move. If you didn't see that, I will give you a closer look later. And this cage fell down. And then you can turn it the other way to put everything back to normal. There's also just so many little details. One thing I love about this set is, like, yeah, it's got the whole board game integration. There's these little tiles everywhere. But unlike you would think, it doesn't actually intrude on the build at all. Like, these tiles feel like a part of the build, and if you took them off, the build would still be complete, so I absolutely adore that. But I think you've all gotten a good look at the outside, so let's move the camera in. Let's take a closer look, shall we? So here is this entrance right here. You can see there's some clips right here. I am positive that's to connect to other parts of the game, but I'm not sure if these two connect anything, because obviously they don't have any clips, but I know you can, like, connect different builds from other sets right here to extend the game, and I will do that in a video later on once I have everything built. Go up here and you see these 2 skulls with the, I was told to call it green fire so that I don't say green flames. So these 2 skulls with green fire on their heads. These look excellent. I love this new skull piece. It's just, it looks like an actual skull instead of a character, and it's really spooky. I love the reuse of the legacy Skulkin heads there. It's excellent. I love that. Moving up here, here are those tiles I was talking about. If you spin that thing I was spinning, they will move up and down like that. I love this play feature. I don't know why. It's very simple, but they like rock from side to side too with how the mechanism works. It was a really fun mechanism to build, and I don't know, that one I just find really, really fun. Coming in here, we have the entrance to the interior of the dungeons, and I love this building technique. It's using these like large 1x2 bricks, but they're empty on the inside, so they actually have you just drop some fire pieces inside. They did something similar in Ninjago City, and I don't know. It's just so unconventional and probably an illegal building technique, but it looks great here, and I'm glad they did it. So you can move these double doors open by pushing this. You can also have a figure here to move that. So we put this figure here, we can just push her, and the doors will open. I like that a lot, and as you can see, the sword is on the other side there, but I will take you around the back to show you that in closer detail later on. On the left here, we have this fish cooking on a stick. I like this. I think it's a lot of fun, but this is not connected in any way. So if you're transporting this set a lot, like I had to move this downstairs to film this review, you got to be careful about that, because that is very prone to fall off because it's not actually connected to anything. On the right side, the path actually continues up here. You've got this bucket full of weapons, which I don't know if getting new weapons like is a thing in the board game, but if it is, this is where you would get it. We've got this little railing here that uses skeleton legs in brown, which I've never seen them in that color before, as well as a gun to create this railing, and I think it works really well, and I love getting that piece in brown. I've never seen it in that color before. If you go up more, you've got more railings using handlebars, another green fire piece, and then here's the cage. This is actually the same exact cage design as the Journey to the Skull Dungeon set, so maybe like this actually serves a significant plot in the story if they include the same cage to two sets. But you can open it up right here, and you can put a figure inside. Coming back here to the entrance, if we take the left path instead, you can see there is a little sign here. As with the writing in the bounty, if you want to translate that in the comments, let me know, because I don't know it off the top of my head. So there's what that sign looks like. Let me know what it says down in the comments below. Right here we have what I can only assume is an extra life for the game, because it's the same like build as the lives on the little character tiles. So I assume if you were playing the game and you landed on this tile, you could collect an extra life. So that's cool. I think that's a fun integration feature, and once I learn how to actually play the game, that could be a cool one to have. Forgot to mention right here by the weapons, there's another one. There's a couple all throughout this set. Moving up, we've got this spider on the wall here. We've got this horn. We've got a bone over here. I don't know. It's just a lot of cool texturing. It's so varied, and I really like how it looks. Travel up some more. We've got this ladder here and another green fire piece. This actually isn't connected at all. This entire section is just very movable. It does stay in place. Like I carried this all the way downstairs and I didn't have to take anything apart. So I think it works. Here's the main control thing that you turn. It's got this sticker on the top of it, which I don't know what that symbol's supposed to represent. It's sort of like, it actually reminds me of the Hypnobrise symbol, so I don't think that's what it is, but it's similar. Then you've got this bridge with these spinning blades, and if you turn this, as I showed you earlier, the blades will spin. And you can turn it either direction, and you got to be careful which direction you turn it, because the cage will either get too high up or fall all the way off if you go too far in one direction. Over here you have another extra life right next to this tile, and then a ladder you can climb up to get to the top. Here's the mechanism I was showing you earlier, where you can push down this lever right here, close it all the way up, or open it. And I don't know what these swords are called, but the new sword in black is here, just like the white one is directly below it at the bottom. You're led into this room behind the skull, which I will show you in a second, but if you come out the other side, here's that area I showed you before with the handlebars and the green fire piece. And if you want a closer look at the skull, there it is. I love this build. It's so... I don't have the words to describe it. It's just designed really well. It's spooky. It's well made. I love it. And it fits into the entire build so well. So now let me turn this thing around and let me show you the inside. So here's the room behind the skull. It's actually very interesting, and it may have some potential spoilers for what Season 12 holds, so if you're not interested in that, I recommend you click away. But we've got this portrait of who looks to be the Skull Sorcerer, but different. He's got a white skull instead of the green one, and he looks to be a normal human man instead of whatever the Skull Sorcerer is. So that's something interesting to theorize about. So for context, this is where it's included in the set. It's in the Skull Sorcerer's little room here behind the skull. Got this little instrument here. I was told it might be a mandolin, and this is a sticker, but I don't know, it's cute. Some armor here. I think that's Nova's helmet from Marvel, if I'm correct about that. A little pink wand piece in here. A candle with some green fire, a green gem, and then some blue thing. Milk, maybe? This room is only 6 studs deep, but I like it a lot. I think it works. It's got room for at least 2 figures, but probably more. I'm very curious as to how this plays into the show, whether that's the Skull Sorcerer or someone else, and what all these like things in the room mean, but it's well made. You can close the door back up and have it like that. You take the sword out. On this side there's a little bit of gold that's been stashed away, and the gold bar piece is actually being used for gold. It's also this rock piece in gold, which I've never gotten that before, so that's cool to get. On this other side here is the mechanism for the cage. As you can see, it spins and you go up or down, and that's what controls the cage out here. And then there's that in the corner, which I don't want to know what that is or why that's included in this set, so we're not going to talk about that. And then if you're curious what this is down here, it's just hiding the mechanism for everything, pretty much. It hides the mechanism that connects these gears to here, that come over here, that come up to this thing, and then come back down over to here. It goes back to control those tiles to move up and down, and then it comes over here to control this. So that is just the overall mechanism for the set hidden in there. And then finally over here underneath the main area to turn everything, you have an axe hidden in the wall. So that's another hidden weapon. I don't know if that plays any part in the board game or if that's just for normal play, but there is a hidden axe if you are interested in a hidden axe. And I think that's about everything in this set. Let's get on to the minifigures, shall we? So for what I assume are the good guy figures of this set, we have Hero Cole, Hero Zane, Hero Lloyd, and Princess Vania, I think her name is. Vania? I don't know. We'll see when we see the show. I think this is the good guy figures, because we don't know who Princess Vania is yet. We just know she comes in a $100 set. So your guess is as good as mine, but I included it here because there's 4 villains, so we're going to make it even. So going from left to right, I absolutely adore this Cole suit. This is one of the best Cole suits in a while, if not ever. Like, this is excellent. The gold works so well on him. That actually looks to be his original symbol right there in the top left corner, which they haven't used those in forever, so that's actually really cool to see. I'm just noticing that now. That's awesome. He's also got this like bronze belt and this metallic gold legs right here. It's excellent. I love it. Zane, I'm mixed on. I definitely like the figure better in person, but there's too much going on here. The gold looks great. I love to have Zane in gold again because we have not gotten it in a very long time, but this was not the way to do it. The silver face doesn't look amazing with the gold, and the blue just seems out of place with everything else. This little bit right here is almost identical to the Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu torso, just with this bit in gold instead of silver, so I feel like they could have done more with Zane here. I don't think it's wrong to put him in gold, but this design just isn't that great. I went over Lloyd in my review of the Journey to the Skull Dungeons, but I like this figure a lot. He has exclusive legs here, just like Cole, but Zane does not. He's really good, very detailed. Silver looks good on him, and he hasn't gotten silver in a while, so it's cool to see. Now, Princess Vania. I love this figure. It reminds me a lot of Akita in that it's like super detailed, super interesting, and only comes in a $100 set. A lot of this blue here is actually metallic. I don't know if it comes up on camera, but if you... yeah, there you go. You can see that it actually shines in the light. That's really cool, and it looks a lot better in person than what you can capture in video, but it looks excellent. Her face is very interesting. She has a dual-sided face, and the other side is what's shown in the pictures that were revealed. I like this one a lot more. It looks a lot more natural and normal. The other one looks a bit weird, which you'll see when I turn these figures around. Yeah, the hairpiece is odd. I believe it's a LEGO Friends hairpiece because it's that like rubbery material, but it's in gold. Seeing a hairpiece in gold is always cool, and I'm very curious who this character is, but I don't know. This is the first time we've gotten a LEGO Friends hairpiece on a Ninjago figure, so that does seem a bit odd to me. Now let's see these guys with everything removed. And there they are. Get a little bit of a better look at how Cole looks and how Zane looks. Lloyd you've seen before, but yeah, there's all 4 without their weapons and accessories. Cole's legs reflect a little bit of light because they are metallic, so I'm trying to give you the best look at them I can. And yeah, let's turn these figures around. That's what the figures look like from the back. Cole and Zane have the gold armor and Lloyd has silver. I actually think I should have put a gold clip on Lloyd, but I forgot to do it. My mistake. I'm sure you guys can imagine what one of these clips looks like on him, and if you can't, go check out my Journey to the Skull Dungeons review where I do that correctly. Not much to say here, so let's take off their hairs and hoods and armor and everything so you can actually see what they look like. And there they are with everything removed. And now you can have a better look at their back torso prints. Contrary to what I said about Zane's front, I love the back of his torso. I don't know what it is about that blue being like tied around the gold, but it integrates the blue into the suit a lot better, and I just think it looks excellent. I wish this wasn't covered up by armor, or I wish this was in some way incorporated to the front of the suit, because that looks great. I love that, but the rest of the figure, Cole's back torso is good, not much to say there. I've seen Lloyd's before, and Vania's is excellent, as I said. There's her alternate face. As you can see, it's a lot happier, but also looks a little evil, so maybe she is an evil character. I don't know the context of her character as of recording this, because the show has not aired yet, and I don't think it's airing anytime soon, because I don't even know if we have Prime Empire in the US yet. Also, I haven't showed this yet, but here is what the gold shield looks like. It's got a lion on it. I really like that. I think I prefer the silver shield with the dragon right here, but both look really good. The golden ninja get the gold ones, and the silver ones get the silver ones. So Cole, Zane, and Kai will hold this one, while Nia, Lloyd, and Jay hold this one. So now moving on to the baddies, we have 4 of them here. One of each type, which I think is cool. We have 1 goblin, 1 orc, I suppose, or an ogre. I don't know what this species is called. The Skull Sorcerer himself, and then 1 skeleton. So we have Ginkle. I don't know why he's called that, but his name is a Ginkle. We have a Murt, we have the Skull Sorcerer, and then we have an Awakened Warrior. Ginkle is the less interesting of the 2 trolls because he doesn't have the actual troll ears. He's just got a black hood, the same black hood piece that's been coming in sense since like 2001. But his face and torso prints are still good, so I still like him. He's just not as interesting as Gleck, and I like Gleck's name more because Ginkle makes me a little uncomfortable. Murt is the same one from the Journey to the Skull Dungeons. It's a good figure. I like it a lot. He's got this metallic printing on his legs. He's got this sand green coloring all throughout, and he's got the hunted armor piece in brown. I love him. He's excellent. Now, the Skull Sorcerer is really awesome. He's got this black and lime green color scheme. This isn't a color scheme we've really seen in Ninjago before, but it looks excellent. This skull here, I'm very curious what the story behind this is. I've got a theory that maybe the skull is the Skull Sorcerer, and then whoever's behind the body is just being controlled. That's why the portrait in the house is of just a normal-looking person. But this skull looks very scary, with the teeth broken and this bright green eyes. I love how that looks. This hat mask combo is a really cool piece, and these wings are always excellent to get. I love the Skull Sorcerer figure. He's really cool. The Awakened Warriors are simple, but they still look really good. The bright green looks excellent here, and it works on the Legacy Skulkin heads in black. I love this guy here. He's just excellent. Maybe it's just because he's so monocolor, except for the face print, but he looks very spooky, I guess is the word for it. I love it. And the black bone on the black helmet. I don't know. It's excellent. Here's everyone with their accessories and hats and such removed. You can get a better look at the Skull Sorcerer's torso and what his face print looks like underneath. It's clearly someone who's very angry. He's got the Klaus eyebrows. I know that's the running theory right now, is that he's Klaus. So he's got the eyebrows and the sort of the cheekbones, but not much else really screams Klaus, so the face print doesn't really like confirm nor deny that theory. It just sort of, it could fit, but it doesn't have to fit. Not sure what the text on his torso says. Again, if you want to translate it, feel free to in the comments. Let's see the backs of these. Nice alternate face for Ginkle here. I believe this is the same face as the other troll. I believe the only difference between the two is one has a hood, the other has ears. So, not super interesting figure. The other one is better, and he comes in Woo's Dragon, but it's nice that he's included at all here. Murt has this very like subtle printing on his head and on his torso that I said in my last video. It's unnecessary, but it does look really good. It's this like sand blue on top of the sand green, and it's subtle, but it works really well to provide some like extra texture to him. Love the back of the Skull Sorcerer's torso here. This green like tassel. I think it looks excellent, and if you couldn't tell, he's using a dress piece, so it's got the unprinted curve right there. And then this is a skeleton. What'd you expect on the back? Like, come on. This set comes with 2 of the like player tiles for the game. Each has 3 lives, and 1 includes a bow extra in the crate. Not going to spend too much time on these here because I've already expressed my thoughts on them, so go check out my Journey to the Skull Dungeons review if you're interested in that. Same thing with the spinner die. I've gone over this before, and this video is looking to be very long, so I don't want it to be too long. So if you want to see my thoughts on that, go check out my Journey to the Skull Dungeons review. So overall, I love this set. I think I say that in every one of my reviews, but this one is really a good one. This set's huge for $100. Like, maybe it's just because the Ice Temple came with the dragon as well that didn't feel so big, but that set did not feel like $100 worth. This one definitely does. It's massive. It feels more complete than the bounty that I just reviewed yesterday, and I liked that set, and that set's $30 more and 500 pieces more. Love how well the board game is integrated. Love the design of the skull face on the front and just the entire mountain. It feels very full. It feels very complete. It's big. It's definitely worth your money. Princess Vania is a great figure, and the other figures here are good as well. Yeah, there's just a lot to like about this set. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like this set? Do you not like this set? Are you planning on picking up this set? Is there anything about this set you don't like? What would you change? Let me know. I know you've heard me say this already, but please subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate that because that really helps me grow. And that's what I would like to do. If there's anything I left out of this review, let me know in the comments too. I will try to fix it later on because I know I can't hit everything in one review, so maybe I forgot something that you were curious about. So if there's anything you're still unsure about, let me know in the comments. And I think that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you next time. Bye.